Welcome to the School of Violin Artistry. I'm Roy Sonne. In this video, we're going to study the Mazas Edude number 9. This is a wonderful etude for developing grace and elegance in the dotted 8th and 16th note pattern. This etude takes us through the gamut of the various bowing patterns and styles that we can apply to this rhythm. It also calls upon us to combine it with other elements reliably and with elegance, maintaining a steady tempo and maintaining the flow of the music. We go back and forth between the hooked bowing and the down-up pattern at the point, otherwise known as the shoeshine bowing. The hooked bowing lends itself to a slightly longer stroke, which has a more singing quality. The shoeshine bowing is shorter and more elegant. At the beginning, Mr. Mazas combines the hooked bowing and the shoeshine bowing in a very artistic way. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. The first note starts down bow, giving a clear feeling of the downbeat, so the first pair is hooked. That allows us to give the first note more length. Then the next two are separate for lightness and elegance. And again, the last pair is hooked, leading back to a down bow for the next downbeat. Chrysler does something similar in Sharon Rosemarin. The second measure is a continuation of the phrase. It needs to follow seamlessly from the first measure. With the same tempo, the same dynamic level, and the same rhythmic groove. Feel the subdivisions of the beat in the second measure. There's a group of 4 and a group of 6. Continuing on elegantly. Follow the bowings exactly as they're written. That allows us to use an up bow with a little crescendo on the long E and to land on the next downbeat with a singing down bow. Now, and again. Measure 13 and 14. Again, the second measure is a continuation of the phrase. And again. Now we have the third major bowing pattern. Up, down, up, down, up, down at the frog for a snare drum effect. And again, the second measure is a continuation. The same tempo, the same volume, and the same feeling as the first measure. This is one of the main pedagogical features of this etude. Measure 25, the feeling is a little different. It's more lyrical and tender, but the tempo stays the same. Here in measure 27 and 28, follow the bowings precisely. The way the bowing pattern changes gives this passage its charm. How are you going to find this double stop in measure 35? I put the first finger down first on the F sharp, then the fourth. But first, we need to get from A to F sharp. You can practice it this way. And then adding the E. And then and finally. Measure 37 and 38. Make sure you understand how the three fingers work together. The chords in measure 38 and 39. First, you need to practice the intonation. Then you need to find a bow stroke that will integrate the chords with what comes before and after. Very light and crisp. This is a good time for a reality check of the rhythm. It's very simple, really. Establish the steady flow of 16th notes. And we make sure we're locked into that steady stream. Don't let it become lazy like this. That's actually a triplet rhythm. Keep the integrity of the 16th notes. The rest of the piece is more or less a repetition of what came before, but don't neglect it. Get used to finishing what you start. This is actually a very attractive piece, and you could perform it on a recital. Even if you're not performing it, you should think of it as an attractive, worthwhile piece of music. Let's give it its due.